Hello. In today's video, we are building upon our lexer. In the last video, we added lexing scanning for single character tokens, which are these. In addition to this, we also added colon and a question mark. And then we handled lexical errors. In this video, we're going to handle tokens which may be formed from multiple characters, but we're not sure. They may be. So I told you, right? We have these tokens slash bang equality greater and less, which may be single character token, but we're not sure yet. So a slash may be a double slash that would indicate a comment. A bang might be a bang equal, which may indicate which is the not equal to token. Equality may be a double equal, and a greater may be greater than equal, and a less may be a less than equal. So we're going to handle all those cases in this video. Okay, so let's just read what's required of us. In this stage, you'll add support for scanning, assignment, and equality operators. So that's the question mark. The code for this stage is implemented in this, if you want to go through that. So the test case would look like this. I can add this. And my program should output this. So it should scan an equal to. Then it should scan a brace. Now here's a confusing thing. We have 3 equal to. How should this be passed? So should it be an assignment then an equal, or should it be an equal and then an assignment? So here comes the concept of maximal munch. All right, maximal munch. So our lexer is going to munch as many characters as possible to form a valid token. So a single equal to is a valid token, but a double equal to is again a valid token. So our lexer is going to munch as many characters as possible to form a token. All right. So it should be an equal to for the first two equals, and then an assignment. That's how it should be parsed or scanned rather. Anyways, this is the test case, and this should be the output. So let's just see what we get for output right now. So we get unexpected character because we haven't handled this case. All right. So let's do that. Let's add a switch case. Oh goddamn. Let's add a switch case in my let's add a case in my switch case. So we have a case for, let me add case for equal to. All right. So now we can't just add the token equal, right? We need to handle the case where it may be two equal to's. All right. So what I'll do is I'll create another method for it. Let's keep that, and I'll call it handle dual character tokens, and I'll send the current token to it. Right. So I'll create this method. All right. And this method will return a scan exception to me. So in case, I'll get to that later why we need to do this. All right. So this will return an exception, and if E is not equal to null, we will print this and return E. If it's not equal to, then we'll do this. Null. And if it's equal to, then we're good. The token must be handled and we can move forward. All right. Yeah. So now let's get to this method. So in this method, we're going to create another switch case. So why? Because we're going to add, so right now we're adding this equality check there. But in that method, we're going to add a switch case for all these 5 types. So as these are maybe single character tokens, so we need to handle these 5 tokens in that method. That's what I'm going to do in that method. Anyways, so I told you we're going to return a scan exception. So let me create an exception. This may be null. So initially it is null, and if I find an error, I'll populate it and return it. I'll get a, so this character, current character so the current character right now is expected to be an equal to. How can I know if it's going to be an comparison operator? I need to check the next character as well, right? So, and if an equal to is followed by another equal to, in that case, we have an comparison, right? So what I'll do is I'll get a character. I need a character, which is the next character. And I will create a method that handles this getting the next character for me. All right, create method, and I will move it up because locality of behavior, whatnot. Anyways, yeah. So we have our source code right here, and we have get current and move next here. Right here, what I'll do is I'll also create get next. Now this get next is not going to increment, but it's going to return the current. It's not going to increment. I just need to check. So it's kind of like a peek in a stack, right? So I got the next character. Now I can add a switch case. So if this current is current, if it is equal to, in that case I need to check. Now let me tell you something. I forgot to add something here. Yeah. What will happen if the current is out of bound? We need to check. We need to add a check if the current is out of bound. All right. So I'll do that. If current equal to source dot length. Because what if the last token of my code is an equal to? Then it's not being followed by any character, and this will throw an error in that case. So if I do, if I had it equal to here, I would try to get the next character, and that would cause an error. So I'm handling that case right here. If it is great, let me just make it greater than equal to. If it is greater than equal to, then I'm going to return a null. And this is precisely why I'm returning character and not a char from here. All right. So if next is not equal to null or null, I'm going to do something else. I'm going to handle it differently. All right. So if it is null, then the current character was definitely single equal to token, right? So in that case, I can simply add token, and it will be of type equal, and the literal is going to be null. All right. But there may be another case here. There is a next character, but it's not an equal to. It's something else. It is a number or something. All right. In that case, also the current character was an equality operator. Am I doing this right? Equal. Where is the equal? So we haven't added that right now. Oh, I forgot. So single character tokens. Yeah, I forgot to add that. Oh my God. So, sorry, my bad. So slash doesn't need it, but a bang. It may be a bang or it may be a bang equal, right? Which is not equal to. Similarly, for equality, let's just make it equal. And let's just call it equal underscore. Let me see what they require of us in the output. So they require equal, right? So an equal operator may be equal or an equal. A greater operator may be a greater or greater underscore equal. Less may be less or less underscore equal. All right. So it's going to be equal. So if the next is null, then it's an equal. If the next is not equal to this, so if next is not equal to the equal of character, in that case also it's a single equal, right? And if this is not the case, then the token that I'm seeing is an equal token, and it's literally it's also going to be null. So that is the equal case. And what happens in the default case? If you don't match any token, and if control comes into this method, and it's not one of these tokens, it's not one of these characters, in that case I'm going to throw an error, because this should not be happening. It's a runtime error. Throw new runtime exception, and I'll just call it, let me copy, invalid character passed in to be checked for dual character token. Make sense? So these methods are not going to generate any error. And another case which I added by myself. It was actually a challenge by the author in the book. So in the book he's handling single line comments but not multi-line comments, and he left that as a challenge. So I solved that, and because of solving that, we actually required this scan exception. It's not required right now, but I will show you where it's required. So we need to return something from here, and we're going to return any. Why is it throwing an error? Delete unreachable statement. Why? Why is it unreachable? Oh, I didn't break from here. Okay. So right now it's going to return a null, but that's fine. Now we are handling the equal case. We are handling where the current character was an equal and the next character was not an equal. In that case, the character we faced is just an equality operator. Sorry, assignment operator, and that is a single equal, and a comparison operator is a double equal. So if the control will only come here if the next character is also, when the next character is not null and the next character is double equal to uh, the next character is also an equal. So that's the only time control is going to come here. Where is the error? Scan exception E, already defined in the scope. Oh, dual character error. Let's just call this rename, and rename. All right, that's it. I guess that's it. Let me try and push it. Git add, git commit, -m. What's the test? Oh, instead of this, let me just try to run the local file that we added. What do we get? Does it work? So we get an equal, then we get a left brace, then we get an equal. We missed something. It's not working. We get another equal, but we should not get this. Can you guess what the issue is? The issue is that if we match the next character and we consume the next character by adding the token for it, then shouldn't we move the current forward as well? The current pointer as forward as well. We definitely should. As when the control comes here, we're consuming this next character. So we should increase the pointer as well. Let me run it again. So we get equal left brace, equal right brace, equal left brace, equal right brace. That's it. That was what was expected of us. Now let me add again. Git commit. Let's wait for it to run. Perhaps we should add some unit testing for this code. Like they're testing the code for us, but we should add some unit testing ourselves as well. Anyways, it worked. We can move on to the next one. So the next thing, the next stage is also the same thing. Instead of equal, we're checking negation and inequality operator. So a single bang is a negation. It negates a boolean. All right. But a bang and an equal is a not equal to. All right. So we need to handle that like we handled equal and equal. So both of these are different operators. Similarly, bang and bang equal are different operators. So right here, we need to call this for a bang as well. And right here, we need to add a case where the current is a bang and the next is equal to null and next is not equal to equal. If that is the case, then it was a negation. Bang, bang. And if the next character was an equal to, then we have a bang and equal. All right, that should be it. That's why I created this new method, because it makes the code quite simple to extend for different types of operators. Oh, push. Let's see if it works. It works. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Now we have the relational operator. So less than may be a simple less than or a less than equal to. Similarly, a greater than may be a greater than or a greater than equal to. So we need to add two cases. So one is going to be for less, right? And then it may be followed by an equal, and if it's then it's going to be less, otherwise it's going to be a less equal. All right, and similarly for greater, it may be followed by an equal to, greater, and this may be a greater equal. All right, and I need to add these here as well. What do they ask of us? Let's try to run this. The output should be less equal, greater equal. Less equal, greater equal, then EOF null, it works. So let's try pushing. Let's see if it works. The hell, it doesn't. Why? 0, 3 out of bound for let 2. For what case? For negate equal. Why for negate equal? What changed for negation? I didn't change anything for negation. What's the error? 0, 3 out of bound for this. I think it should be helpful if I do live debugging, so let me try it. Control comes here. Current is what? Current is 1. Current is bang. Next is equal. So the control comes here. We increment current. We add token. We add the token. Are we not breaking? That's the issue. God damn. So simple an issue. Push. works. All right. Now comes something interesting, something new. The last three stages were the same thing, essentially. So in this stage, you'll add support for scanning the division operator and comments. Comments start with double slash and the division operator is a single slash. All right. The tester will run a series of tests that all contain something that looks like this. Let me add that to our test file. So let's just try to run and see what happens. We'll get an error. Unexpected characters. Okay. All right. And it should have looked like left paren, right paren, null, EOF, null. That's what it should look like, right? So if everything goes fine, I should be able to do this. So the first thing remains same. We need to, in our original switch case dispatcher, we'll add a case for slash. We'll essentially make it go to the same method. So this is not required anymore. Also, I'd like to clean the code up a bit. So we have this class right here and I have the constructor right here. Let me move it up. And I don't need these comments anymore. Let's make the constructor the first thing. Then the methods that interact with source. Then we have the fields. Then we have the result token and the method that adds to the result. Then we have the result class itself. And then we have a method scan, then we have handle token, then we comma. Alright, then we have the handle dual character method. Alright, now we need to add another case for a slash, but it's going to differ from the other ones. So right here, the possibility is that a slash may be followed by a slash. That makes a comment. But I also want to handle the case where a slash may be followed by a asterisk. Then we have multiple lines. Then we have another asterisk, then a slash, and that makes a multi-line comment, which is something that I want to handle like this. So that's why this dispatcher right here is going to look a bit different. So let me clear it and write it from scratch again. Here, if next is equal to null, then in that case we definitely know that it's not being followed up by anything, and it's definitely a single division operator. So in that case I can add a token of slash, and the literal is going to be null. All right. But there may be other cases where this is true. It is also true when the next, it's also true when next is not equal to another slash. All right. In that case also it's a division operator, but it's also a division operator when next is not equal to an asterisk. Because if it were an asterisk, it would be a multi-line comment. So in all these cases, we need to add the token of slash with a literal null. All right. And in the else case, now here is something interesting again. There are two types of comments. So when the control comes here, the control will only come here when a slash is being followed by a slash, or where a slash is being followed by a asterisk. All right. Only in those cases will control come here. And in both these cases need to be handled differently. A multi-line comment and a single line comment need to be handled differently. In a single line comment, I only need to discard a single line. And in a multi-line comment, I will need to discard all the code till I see an asterisk and a slash again. But what happens if I don't see an asterisk and a slash again? In that case, we have an unterminated comment. So I need to handle that as well. Right. So let me show you how I'm going to do that. So if next is equal to a single slash, in that case we only need to discard a line. I'll create a method to do that. But if that is not the case, I need to discard multiple lines. Discard multiple lines, and like I told you, right? If we start a multi-line comment, if I start a multi-line comment, but I don't end it ever, it should be an error. The error should be an unterminated. Uh, the error should be an unterminated multi-line comment, and that is why we need that scan exception. So this method is going to throw an exception. It's going to throw a scan exception in case the multi-line comment is never terminated. So let me create this method, and let me also create this method. All right. Let me move it down. And let's see how we're going to discard a single line. So to discard a single line is simple. While we're going to munch all the characters up until we see a new line. All right. So while current is less than source.length and the next character is not a new line. New line. In both these cases, this may be null. Get next may be null. Get next won't be null because I'm checking this right here. So it's a warning. May produce, but it will never because I'm checking the length right here. So if the control, it will break the control flow, right? It only produces a null if current is greater than or equal to source.length, but I'm checking current is less than source.length, so it will never be null. I know that. Okay, if that is the case, we need to munch up the characters, and we have a method that munches up the characters and increases the current pointer, and that is get current move next. Now I'm not going to do anything with this. Instead, what you can do is you can do a current plus plus. I think that should work. But let me check what we are doing here. Yeah, all we are doing is basically doing a current plus plus. So let me do that because that looks better. We're going to do a current plus plus. We're going to discard all these characters. All right. Semantically also it makes sense. That method is used to get a character and we're going to do something with that character, but we're not doing something with that character. We're just discarding it. Right. That discards a single line comment for me. But to discard a multi-line comment is a little bit complicated. So it starts the same while current is less than source.length. All right. So we know we need to discard a single line comment until the next character is a new line. But we discard a multi-line comment till the next, we need to check the next two characters to discard a multi-line comment. All right. So we need to check the next character must be an asterisk, and the next to next character must be a slash. So, but we only have this one method to check the next character. So we need to create another method that gives me the next to next character as well. Get next and next. Get next next. Haha. So in here, what I'll do is I will do int next is equal to current plus 1, and if current is greater than source.length, in that case we need it returns a null, but its responsibility is to check the next character, and if it is the next is greater than or equal to source.length, in that case we return null, otherwise we return source.caret of next. All right, so this is get next next for me, and that will be the get next next method. So while current is less than source.length, but we also need so this checks that if the next character is in bounds, but we also need to check if the next to next character is in bound, and we can do that with current plus 1 is should also be less than equal to source dot length, right? But that is not all. After this, let me doesn't look pretty to me. Let me bring it here. Let me bring it down here and here. Now we need to check the next character. So the get next must be equal to an asterisk, and the next get next must be equal to a slash. All right. So that is when we are going to break out of it, and we negate this. So when the next is not asterisk or the next is not a slash, in those cases we break the while loop. All right, in those cases we break the while loop, and if we don't break the while loop, we just move one character forward. All right, current plus plus. Here is something interesting. As the name suggests, it's a multi-line comment. So when you have a multi-line comment, so you have code on line 1, then you have a multi-line comment that is of 3 lines, and then you have another line of code. So let me write that for you. So let's say you have some piece of code, then you have a multi-line comment, and then you have another line of code. So if an error comes in on this line, we should tell the user, let's imagine we do not have this. If the error is on this line, we should tell the user the error is on line 1. But if the error is on this line, we should tell the user the error is on line 7. And that will only happen if we check if the get next was equal to a new line. In that case, we need to increment line. All right. Okay. Let me undo this. Okay. So right here, the control will come here when the comment is terminated or the source code has ended. Now the source code may end. All right. Here's another interesting thing. Is this a terminated multi-line comment? No. So the source also, this is also not a terminated multi-line comment. So there are two cases where we see unterminated multi-line comments, where we have an asterisk and where we don't have an asterisk or a slash. So we'll add two cases here. If source dot if current is greater than equal to source dot length, if that is the case, then we have an exception. The exception is that we have an unterminated multi-line comment. That is definitely the case. So if this was not the reason this while loop broke, then we definitely have a multi-line comment. Right. So if current is greater than equal to source dot length, then this is not the reason why this while loop broke. Then we definitely have a multi-line comment, and in that case, I can create a scan exception e equal to new scan exception, and the reason I'm going to say is on line plus line plus I'll say unterminated multi-line comment new scan exception. I will system dot error dot print line e dot get message, and I will return e. That is one case. what other case is there where we might have an error? So current is not greater than equal to source dot length. It is possible that we have one character remaining, and that is this. So if we get the next character and the next character, so control will come here when current is not greater than equal to source dot length. So we should be able to munch up one character. Get current, move next. This should be the asterisk. All right. So if after this current plus 1 is greater than equal to source dot length, all right, so if this condition did not pass, if this condition was not true, then we have one character to munch up. All right, and we can do this because this condition failed, and then I check if current plus 1 is greater than equal to source dot length. So if current plus 1 is greater than equal to source dot length, I will do this again because we should have one more character in our input, and that would be the slash character, right? And if this condition is true, then again we have an unterminated multi-line comment. So if this condition is false, that means we have one character remaining, at least one character remaining that we can munch up, and that should be the asterisk. And if if after that current plus 1 is greater than equal to source dot length, we still have an error, and that is an unterminated multi-line comment because we did not have the slash, and we can munch up the slash, and from here I can return a null because we consumed the leftover. So we broke out of this while loop when we saw that the next character is an asterisk and the next to next character is a slash, but those asterisks and slash haven't been consumed. My current pointer is still pointing to this. Okay, this is the method that is going to move the current from this. So let me show that to you. So the while loop will break when current is right here, but I still have two characters. So if the current is greater than equal to source dot length, then we do not have one character, then we definitely have an unterminated multi-line comment. But if that is false, then I can consume this character, this asterisk. So I consume that, move the current forward. Instead of this, I can still do current plus plus. That makes more sense semantically. Current plus plus. All right, and then I check if current plus 1 is greater. Current plus 1, yeah, because now current is pointing to this. Current is pointing to this. Get current, move next. Yeah, current plus 1 is greater than equal to source dot length. Current plus 1. Current plus 1. Do I check current plus 1? Why do I check current plus 1? I already incremented current. Oh, sorry, my bad. We break out of the while loop when the pointer is right here, when the next character and the next to next character, when the next character and the next character are asterisk and slash. So the pointer must have been here. So we move the pointer one forward right here. Then I check if current plus 1 is greater than equal to source dot length. In that case also we have an unterminated multi-line comment, so I throw the error. And if that is not the case, then we definitely have a slash, and I can move this, I can do this. So what we can do is no, this is fine, this will work, this should work. Let's run it. Oh, we haven't handled sorry yaar, my bad, we haven't handled new line characters as of yet, so this will not work. This will work. This should work. And now if I put a multi-line comment, we should only see an EOF. Unterminated multi-line comment. Why is that? Because we saw this and then we consumed the leftover in a single line. So if we are in a multi-line comment, so multi-line comment we started, it should have consumed all of these. Let's run it. We get the pointer right here. Okay. Discard multi-line comment. The source is this, current is 2. Why is the current 2? Because why is current 2? So when do we get control out of it? 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 13. It should break at 13. 11, 12, 13, 14. Control comes here at 14. What's at 14? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Current pointing here. So that is not the case. We move current forward. So current plus 1 here is 15. So where does the control go? Control comes here. So the issue is our pointer is one integer ahead. Shouldn't be. So I figured out the issue. The issue was like when I was doing the dry run, I saw it, but I thought I wrote the code fine, but I did not. We do not need this plus 1 here because we already incremented, right? Current plus plus. So we do not need to check the next to next because we already incremented current. So if I were to show you the try run again, current would be here and current would be here, pointer would be here. So the current, this condition will be false. We'll munch up the next character, which will be a asterisk. Move the current forward, and now we do not need to check current plus 1. That was only the case if this current plus plus was not here, right? So actually I wrote the code like this and then I did 2 current plus plus and that would have been fine. Let me check that. Oh yeah, this would have been fine, but when copy pasting I by mistake copied it above this if case and that's why it was failing. So the logic remains the same. The while loop breaks when the current is here, right? And when this this condition we'll check this condition, is current greater than equal to source dot length. If it is, then we have an unterminated. And if current plus 1 is also greater than source dot length, in that case also we have unterminated, and then we can bunch up the leftover characters. So that adds the support for multi-line comments as well, and a single comment as well, single line comment as well. So this should only print EUF null. It prints it. All right. Let me know if this was not quite clear. I will upload a short video explaining it again. Git push. It's working fine. All right. Now the only thing left is white spaces. Let's quickly add that. So the white spaces are, let's get to our original switch case dispatcher, which is this. So these are the possible multi-line tokens. They start with these characters. Similarly, we have multiple new line characters, white spaces, which are, so we're not going to do anything there. So if the current character is an empty space, we don't do anything. If it is /r, we don't do anything. So let me add a comma here. And if it's a /t for tab space, we don't do anything. /t. All right. We simply break. Yeah. But if it is a multi-line, if we have a new line, sorry, if we have a new line, in that case, before, what did I just do? I need to remove this. So let me copy this. And if it's a new line, in that case, before breaking, I should increment the line variable. All right, that's it, I think. Let me check. If it works. It works. And this also handles the multi-line errors for us. You'll see it passing in a second, in another second, and it works fine. All right, so we're going to handle string literals and number literals next in the next video. That's it for this one. Bye bye.